Hi, everyone. I'm Yvonne Heath of Love Your Life to Death, and I am celebrating Grief National Awareness Day. I say celebrating, as I have said many times over this day, because the celebration is that we are having these conversations and we are normalizing these conversations. And if we have grieved, if we are grieving, that means we have loved and we have lived. And so I have had it's been such an amazing day of bringing different people, different guests, and having conversations with beautiful souls. And one of them is here with me right now, Esther Pennell. Hello, Esther. How are you today?
I'm good, Yvonne. Thanks.
I am loving your hair. I am loving the vibrant hair. I'm all about vibrant colors. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. So Heather, I am so delighted that we've connected. And when I spoke in North Bay at the event, that the lovely Karen Strang and you were part of the organizing committee, bringing the I Just Showed Up message and movement to North Bay. You gave me such a precious gift, and we're going to talk about that because you have been through and continue to navigate grief, tremendous grief, and from that grief you created something beautiful with the banjo, which I love. Yes, and so can you share a little bit about your journey through grief and what you created from that pain and the beautiful things that have come from that?
Absolutely. 5 years ago, my youngest son passed away. He was 20 years old. He had been struggling with drug addiction the winter before he died, and he had got himself clean, actually, and he was doing really well. He was on a good path and and going in the right direction. And unfortunately, he had a misstep backwards, and he lost his life because of it. And I lost my son, and my other children lost their brother, and my granddaughter lost her uncle. It's always a challenge when you lose anyone in your life, but especially a child going before their parents is the one of the most unnatural griefs to have to face. I decided early on in my grief journey for my son that the best way for me to honor him was to live my life that much more. I knew I had to I knew I could very easily curl up in a corner and disappear and let life, just carry on without me. But my son was a bright, shining spark of joy for so many people, and he lived his life at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I needed to continue that, I think. I lived a life of fear mostly, and I let fear keep me from experiencing a lot of things. And facing your worst possible nightmare made every other fear seem so insignificant.
Yes.
Fortunately, I have the gift of music bestowed upon me. Quite literally months before my son passed away, I wrote my very first song. And since his passing 5 years ago, I've written well over 100 songs. And in that process of dealing with my grief and my loss and my sorrow, I put so much of that into music. And it's not all sad songs. It is definitely not all sad songs. There's songs about resilience and love and connection and grief. I have songs about grief that can make you sad, but it's also a beautiful journey to be able to experience such profound love. And that's what grief is. It's all the love that I can't give him in person. I still have to give. And so I put it into music. And I think through that, through my music and through my own personal grief journey, I've been able to reach a lot of people, and I've been able to walk a path that I know personally a lot of grieving parents are unable to walk. They get stuck in that deep, deep part of their grief. And of course we do. And I still have days where I don't get off the couch.
Absolutely. And who could blame you?
My love for my son, and for to honor him, his, and to prove that he was important, and to my journey is to honor him and celebrate his life. And no better way for me to celebrate his life than to celebrate my life, and to not let fear keep me from living. And that's what I've tried to do. That's what I've tried to do.
Wow. Esther, I honor you so much for the path you've taken, and you're so right. We should not outlive our children. and sometimes we don't have that choice. And of course, this subject is very near and dear to my heart, as my son Tyler went down a very dangerous road of drugs and addiction. And I'm one of the fortunate moms who, because he was able to turn his life around, and he's had many friends who have died, and I'm passionate and about being the evidence that their lives made a difference, because that is one of the greatest gifts we can do, right? Be the evidence that someone's life made a difference. So what is your son's name?
His name is Theo.
Theo. So to honor Theo and Drew and Conrad and, all of these kids who they're good people. They just got lost down this path, and instead of becoming another person for others to grieve, because who would blame a mother, a father, who would blame you for never living again? You just become another person to grieve. And what you've chosen to do is be a light in this world through your music, your banjo. You wrote a song for us, like the I Just Showed Up movement that I teach everyone we need to just show up. You wrote a song, and that I Just Showed Up song it was such a gift to me. And you were you performed it at our presentation, and it was just such a beautiful gift. So you are choosing to be a gift. And you also are helping people navigate their grief. So tell us about that.
About a little over a year ago, I joined the grief recovery program, and I went in for my own grief and have become a co-facilitator of sorts. I've become a part of a team that
working with Jeff Archambault, right?
Yes,
I have Jeff. Yes.
And from there, I've discovered that I have it's such a strange way of putting it, but I have a gift of reaching people who are grieving. And it's not something that I ever would have envisioned for myself. But in my life, I've overcome a lot of loss, and I've overcome a lot of traumas, and still working through a lot of them. And the program that Jeff offers just opened up this amazing piece of my spirit that I didn't know was there. The same with music. I didn't know. I was almost 40 years old when I started playing music, so you never know.
Wow. That's so awesome.
It's hard to explain, I think, to put into words and to articulate what it means to me to be a beacon for other people while I am actively grieving myself.
Well, because you're allowing your humanness, and you understand and you get it. You get it. While you are grieving, you are healing.
Absolutely.
Right? And grief and joy coexist, and you're bringing it all in, your messy self, and some days are good, some days are not.
Yeah.
Extraordinary. And now tell me, you had just shared with me a little bit about a group that you're starting, and
yes.
Yes.
In North Bay, they have, it's called Out Loud North Bay, which is a drop-in center for LGBTQ Two-Spirit Youth. It's a drop-in center, and they offer all kinds of supports and things for our youth in North Bay. And I will be spearheading a roundtable grief discussions with the youth and their parents and whoever wants to come in, just to open the communication and hopefully give them some language to use, and to just open up the table. It's a round table discussion about loss and changes. And I mean, honestly, our LGBTQ youth, a lot of them, they are going through grief responses in their changes and just coming out to their families and their friends. That's a change in it's a change in a familiar pattern of behavior. They're losing one piece of who they are for who they are.
Absolutely. And I love that you're doing that. And I like, honestly, I would encourage anyone anywhere to open up these conversations. You don't have to be, you don't have to be an LGBTQ PhD expert. Just open up some conversations, right? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what is challenging. And that peer support and that peer sharing with some guidance is beautiful. And oh my goodness. See, you have chosen to be a light in this world, Esther. And I cannot express how in awe I am of your journey, of what you are choosing to give. You are being the evidence that Theo's life mattered and made a difference. And I have no doubt he's so proud of you. I'm gonna make myself cry in saying that. And truly, that's the love that you continue to have for your son, because love lives forever. And everything that you're sharing. And where can people learn more about you? Can they hear your songs anywhere? Where can I? Yes,
you can Google me.
Google Esther. So just Google you, Esther Pennell. I'll put a link underneath, because do you have a website?
It is, hold on, let me see. It's I'm under an umbrella of Indigenous musicians, and
amazing.
I want to make sure I pronounce it right. Oh my goodness, and my brain just went blank.
You know what? That's okay. We'll make sure we have the link underneath. Esther doesn't remember her website, so we'll put the link.
I know it. Oh my goodness. And I'm on Bandcamp. I'm on Bandcamp. I'm on Spotify and iTunes and Deezer, and my music is all on there. It's
love it. Esther Pennell, Pennell, right?
That's it. Yep.
Thank you, Esther, for bringing us the gift of music, of love, this fabulous hair, supporting these LGBTQ Two-Spirited Youth. You are making the difference for more people than you know, I have no doubt. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all that you are doing.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a weird to say it's my pleasure.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the whole grief
purpose.
Joy, right?
How about I say it is my purpose?
It is your purpose and your passion, and you're being a light in this world, and we need that. So thank you so much, Esther. Everyone, reach out to Esther. Find her music. We'll make sure we have a link. Bye for now.